when it comes to FoxNext, there's no such thing as precedent. Does not matter how they've done something in the past, that means nothing.
Oh yeah, we're definitely talking more about that. And of course, all of the news of the past week, including this Phoenix drama and this gold resolution. And we got some data mines! Yes, we have some dates for some legendary events and more. You're not gonna wanna miss this, guys. Let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
What's up, Valley Maniacs? It is time for the news, and I am joined by my brother Khasino. What is up, man? How are you doing?
Doing good. What's going on?
Had a very interesting week since our last news update video, right?
It's been quite the roller coaster. We've had some ups and downs.
Have we been having ups? I guess we've had ups towards the end, but yeah, it started off very interesting. I guess let's start off with what started this whole thing off. The Phoenix it gave the impression that it was 5 stars, never officially announced, but then it was officially announced right after we did our news video that it would be a 6-star unlock. What were your initial impressions of this?
Oh, all sorts of things. I went through a range of emotions. I went through, oh great, people are gonna think I was in on this. Which they did, by the way. So let me just put this out here. I saw all these comments like, Khasino is in cahoots with the devs. They organized the whole thing. And I saw them talking about all the content creators. I cannot be more clear about this. We had no idea. This wasn't our idea. We didn't know it was coming. We didn't choose not to say anything. We found out like 2 hours before you guys did. And every single content creator had the same response, which is, you're kidding, right?
Discord was blowing up in those 2 hours, but from when it was released to when it got released, the what is it? The Envoy channel where we were talking to Siri, we're like, this is not good. Every single content creator, every single content creator gave him quite an earful. This is gonna be really bad, and well, it went like that. So
and then it turns out we're all prophets, and it did indeed go over really bad. Another response I had was, and this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, sorry guys, but one of the many things I felt was, oh thank God, there's not gonna be phoenixes everywhere in my arena shard.
I could understand that from a selfish position because it's like, oh yeah, you get to dominate for a little while, but as a whole, I don't think it's good for the game to. I keep wanting to use the word change, but I guess it seems like it changed. So let me choose my words there because of the game footage we got, the 310 unlock, and the when she was accidentally released when the update dropped, and
Well, so we'll get to that. So people have been asking me all week, what do you think of the Phoenix thing? And here's what I've been saying the entire time. The fact that Phoenix is a 6-star unlock doesn't bother me that much. She is insanely powerful. I'm fine with her being kind of rare. However, in no way, shape, or form should they have told us when they told us.
Yes.
That needed to be established from the get-go. It screwed up so much for so many people. First, it got so many people's hopes up and then pulled the rug out from them. Yeah. That's just a really mean thing to do. Like, you should never do that. It made people buy things that they wouldn't have bought. I know several people who bought Psylocke because they're like, I wouldn't normally get Psylocke, but since I'm getting Phoenix, I want to get Psylocke, so I have the whole team. So they were buying stuff, and then I was seeing a lot of them weren't even being allowed to refund. So I think towards the end they did start refunding some of them, but yeah, if these were the requirements from day one, I would have been okay with it. But the way they handled it. The way they handled it, completely botched. I think it was a total disaster, and ultimately,
totally disaster.
Totally disaster.
Exactly.
And ultimately, their response. I'm glad we're keeping that meme alive. I really am. Ultimately, their response was, "Sorry. Well, here's the date, and we'll give you some double drops. Good luck." I have been pushing for, like, you should give people at least like 100 shards of every character. Like, come on, meet people in the middle. But it is what it is. they're classic FoxNext. So they said they learned quite a bit about their communication. Look, this is the first time they've done something specifically like this. So you get one of these. They do this again, I will have no sympathy for them. But the other thing that I've been hearing is they, at no point did they specifically say it was always going to be a 6-star unlock. And the reason that they never said that is it wouldn't be true. I've had a lot of people asking me, like, do you think it's a 6-star unlock the whole time? Because I'm pretty sure that they just changed it. Like, yeah, 100% they just changed it. There's not a doubt in my mind. They gave us footage at 5-star.
Yeah.
It showed up in the game at 310.
I think that's the most telling thing right there, that 310.
Yep, it's
when
not
it showed
the
up
first
in the
time.
game. Yeah.
It's not the first time a character showed up at a different amount of stars that they ended up unlocking at. Like, they do change that stuff on the back end. But, like, it's pretty clear that they hadn't planned on it. And, you know, someone at FoxNext went, you realize if we made it 6-star, we'll make a lot more money. And then someone else went, I heard money. That sounds like a great idea.
I'm actually wondering, because I would have bought Colossus. I know a lot of people wouldn't have refunded their Psylocke. So I'm actually wondering if this was a good financial decision. Obviously, we're not privy to the numbers, so I don't know if we ever know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was a good money decision. What are you hearing from the chatter on just from your community?
Well, a bit of both. I'm hearing some people like, damn it, now I have to spend, and other people like, well, I was gonna spend, but now I'm not. But I mean, I would imagine that people are gonna spend. Like, they wouldn't have pulled something like this. Like, they couldn't be thinking like, people will love this. Like, they must have known people wouldn't be thrilled, and they did it anyway. So they must have run some numbers and been like, ooh, we're gonna need a Brinks truck.
I guess that, I mean, that would be the only thing that would make sense to me, this if they're making more money from it. So
yep, and someone earlier on my stream was like, I'm just starting to feel like I can't trust FoxNext. And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, you can always trust FoxNext to go for the most possible money they can make. Like,
I would agree.
That's where you set your expectations for them. That is always their angle. They don't even attempt to hide it. It's very clear. They like that money. And you know what? The game is fun. So, you know, it is what it is. But just know that. When you're dealing with them, just know that.
Well, we did get surprised. We're going to talk about that right before we started recording this. We did get a nice surprise, and I think that had the community in mind. So, yeah. But before it got better, it got a lot worse, because we got some more evidence of stealth buffs to the beta raids while they're running. Now, last week on the news show, we talked about the stealth buffs to Mystic and how displeased both of us were with that. But beta raids, not just when they came back, and I kind of expected it when they came back, but in the middle of the raids. What are your thoughts on beta? What are your experiences with beta?
They're super tough. We're definitely not 100%ing it. And I will say, like, some of those mutant nodes are, I think they were designed kind of with the full X-Men team in mind, because I'm using really, really strong versions. Like, I already have like a 41k Colossus that I'm bringing in there, and still those nodes are kicking my ass while the 6 red star. Like, they, you know, they're balanced for some super whaley, maybe like some, if I had gear tier 13 of all the mutants and you know, 5 red star on everyone or something, maybe, but.
Well, even with Phoenix, one node, and then she's dead, and then you got to spend 50 to revive her. So I don't even know if that would make a difference for anything but one node, right?
I think if you leave Storm off the X-Men team, you'll get the full X-Men team for one node at least, full Brotherhood for another node. Hopefully you can charge Storm up and you know, kind of limp through one node, and then use the fully charged Storm on another node. I think that's kind of it, but I mean, there's not like an X-Men healer, so I don't know, man.
But strategy.
Yeah, maybe, but you know, I think a lot of it's just designed to make it as tough as possible. Now, to be fair, like this, I'm never happy when they do this, but they have such a history of doing this. Like, they like to tinker with stuff, especially endgame content. Like, they like to just move it up a little, move it down a little, and just see what makes people struggle more and what makes people struggle less. And I don't appreciate being experimented on per se, but it's only affecting the super, super top end players, and it's kind of teaching them balance wise what we can and can't handle. So
Yeah, it affected me. It affected me.
I'm not thrilled about it, but there was a post a while back. So someone, in one of the previous raids, someone posted, like, I have proof that these numbers change. And Cerebro made a detailed post. You can go check it out. But he made a detailed post basically saying, like, certain aspects of raids are always variable. Like, we have it programmed in where certain powers of certain enemies fluctuate a random amount so that it's never quite the same. Like, we don't want the attack that killed someone by exactly 10 damage more than it needed to on day 1 to for sure work again on day 2. Like, we vary it a bit so it's always a fresh experience. That was their reasoning, but what they really mean is, you know, it's hard to get a perfect lock on it. They don't want you to perfectly recreate the same thing every time. They want it to be kind of lively and engaging. So,
what are your thoughts on that? Because I'm not really happy with that, because it's not a slight bump. It looks like about 20% or so on some of these things. Yeah. So it's pretty high.
Some of the sliders are pretty extreme. I proposed what I still feel is a way better solution, and my solution is, instead of fluctuating the power of the people, fluctuate the people, but from a pool of people. So to give you a super simplified version of my idea, it would go something like this. Let's say that there's 8 enemies on this node, right? You're always going to face 8. And they'll have a pool of like 15. And in that pool of 15 is like 4 Deadpools, 4 Cables, 2 Wolverine, 2 Storm, 2 Kingpin, whatever it is. And you'll always face a random 8 of that 15. So you can see going in who you're up against, so you know, like, all right, I'm not going up against a Doctor Strange or a Phoenix or whatever. But some days you'll go in and be like, oh, there's 3 Kingpin and 2 Wolverine. And the next day, I'll be like, oh, there's 1 Kingpin, 2 Deadpool, 2 Wolverines. So it would be a fresh experience doing that node each day. And you would have good and bad node RNG. You know, one day you just get like the worst cluster of enemies, but then the next day you'd get like the best cluster of enemies. But I think that would be a way to make it always different, but never actually have to change anything on us. And
yeah, and I would be in favor of that. I just would want, you know, the pool of 15 also published with their exact power levels, and the power levels of those 15 or so do not change. You know, you might get like the best RNG and get all the worst characters that you're facing, or like the worst RNG and get all of the toughest characters. Right. But yeah, the exact power levels of the pool do not change unless they're going to significantly bump up the rewards. And if they want to really make it harder, just make another tier and give more rewards for that. That's my feeling on these buffs. I don't like them. I think they're just they devalue a lot of the work that we put in, is what I
agree with you completely. However, I always try to look at both sides of every issue. I'm not saying that I don't completely agree. Like, I completely agree with what you said. That is my position as well. However, also be mindful. Sometimes people complain no matter what. So when they don't change anything and they leave it exactly the same, once people figure out, like, all right, just this is the team I use, these are the abilities I use in this order, and it always beats it, it immediately goes from like, oh yeah, I'm just doing my raids, having some fun, to, ugh, I gotta do raids. It's such busy work. It's so monotonous. It's a chore to do raids. Like, you hear that. So
what are you, the voice inside my head when I'm doing the raids?
See what
psychic connection or something?
It's a little bit of people complain either way. Now, again, I'm not like, I do not think their solution is the right one, but I also kind of see it from their side, which is like, people complain when it's redundant and stale and the same thing over and over, so we made it change a little bit, and then they complain that it changes. Again, I think there's better solutions, but it is what it is.
There's different solutions out there to get what they're going after, I agree. All right, let's move on, because we got the Phoenix 6-star, we got the stealth raids. There was one more really bad PR thing that happened, and it was a mistake.
Well, so before we even get into this, I don't even like what people are calling this. So people are calling it Goldgate 2.0. I think that does a disservice to what Goldgate was.
The original Goldgate? Yeah, that was on purpose. That was on purpose.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The original Goldgate, they meant to do it. It was completely intentional. And then they weren't even that remorseful over it. They were like, hey, we do A/B testing sometimes.
That's fair. That's fair.
This one was just an accident that they immediately pulled. and people lost their minds. They thought it was this dev conspiracy. Like, I forget who said the quote, but it's something along the lines of, like, never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity. Like, someone just screwed up. FoxNext wasn't like, haha, we got the offer in and we got it out real quick. They were like, oh God, what did we do? They screwed up. It's not malicious. It was an oops. And then so many people were freaking out. Like, classic FoxNext, not even responding to the issue. And again, like, I know I already have a reputation as a FoxNext apologist, and I hope that people are listening to what I'm actually saying, because I'm more than happy to bash them when they deserve bashing.
Yeah.
But this happened late on a Friday evening. They work Monday through Friday. So all day Saturday, all day Sunday, people are like, I can't believe FoxNext has not answered us about this. It's like, they don't work 7 days a week. They're not in the office. As soon as they got in on Monday, they were all over it.
Now, I don't remember a public statement about it until recently. So was there a statement on Monday? I think
so. If you remember, on the Envoy server, they intended to have a statement ready on Monday.
Okay, yeah, I do. I remember him talking about
They said, I'm gonna try to have the statement ready Monday, which would be the very next day in terms of like FoxNext business hours. That's the very next day. And it's not like Cerebro reads Reddit on the weekends, but he has to talk to people before he can say things. He can't just like say, here's what we're gonna do, and then wait for the other devs like, oh yeah, here's what I obligated you guys to do. Like, he needs to have the conversation with them. So it was supposed to be the very next day, and then it got pushed until first thing Tuesday morning, which is still like a pretty quick response, all things considered. And then we saw the response, shortly before it went out to you guys. And speaking for myself, I looked at it and I was like,
this is not gonna solve anything. People are going to be so pissed off, and there was a lot of chatter on that Envoy server about this because we knew I was going to go down, but...
we gave him a little bit of the, are you sure you don't want to try again? Yeah, a couple minutes before it's supposed to go out, then it was, actually scrap that, we're cooking up something else. Yeah. And I assume they don't want us to disclose what the original solution was. Just to their credit, at no point were they going to do nothing. But what they were going to do wasn't what they are doing. So anyway, we saw it and we were like, and then so they went back, talked about it a little bit more, and still, like, it happened Friday evening. The very next day that they can even look at it is Monday, and by Tuesday there was a statement. So it's not like they wasted an immense amount of time, and it was an accident in the first place. It obviously wasn't going to be something, like, all these people were worried that FoxNext would just be like, what's the big deal, and move on and like leave it, but I don't know why.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. The amount of gold that they got, but we got a nice statement. We got a nice response. Let me read this real quick in case anybody haven't heard it. I'm just gonna read the last paragraph. Here's what the team has planned for the players that did not purchase the offer on Friday. And before that, it said that 85 players purchased it, but those 85 players got a huge advantage. So if you did not purchase it, first few weeks we'll be launching a daily login character run for 21 days, and we'll give a total of 10.5 million gold in total. Running in tandem, there'll be offers to purchase 60 gold orbs for $30 over the course of those 21 days. So basically, if you log in every one of those 21 days, you'll get all the offers, and that's a lot of gold is what it says. So what do you think of the response?
I think they're giving us a crap ton of gold, and I'm really happy about that. I wasn't expecting a crap ton of gold, so I'll take it. We've known for a while that at some point they want to do a level cap raise, so I've been trying to get an answer on whether we can expect a level cap raise or not, but my personal suspicion is that there's probably a level cap raise coming sometime around this, because the main complaint people have when a level cap raises is that they don't have anywhere near enough gold or haven't been able to level people up enough. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
And yeah, I know a lot of people wanted the rollbacks, but that much gold affects so many different areas of the game. They would have to roll back so much with especially with the Captain Marvel milestones going on, and Blitz and Arena and War. It's just, I don't know how they would have rolled it back, and that's
they would have had to rewind the account progress, and then people who got like a good red star pull would have that undone and then they'd be pissed. So this is the most fair way to do it. And I double confirmed, even though it says it in the wording, and he later added a comment in the thread that says it. I double checked, and this gold that we'll be getting will not be available to those 85 people. Yes. So it is going to even it up. There's one tiny little discrepancy someone pointed out to me, and I'm not sure how I feel about it or what I think the solution is. All things considered, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but someone did point it out, and it's something to think about. Someone said they have all this gold now. We have to wait to get it. The Captain Marvel milestones are ending before we get ours. If they want to whale out on all the gold every day, they can get a lot more Captain Marvel shards than us. Yeah. And it's not a crazy amount, but yeah, if you have that gold, you might be able to get your Captain Marvel to the next star. But we don't know what milestones will be going on when we get the gold. So, if they spent it all and then we have it and they don't, we could be looking at even better rewards. So, it's a fair point. I'm not really sure, but my whole thing is let's wait and see till we get there. Let's see what happens to Captain Marvel. I highly doubt Captain Marvel's just gonna disappear and you'll never get shards for her again. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but all things considered, that's a small price to pay. And again, it's 85 people. So a few people got a bunch of Captain Marvel shards, but a few people get 180 shard drops when they buy one orb of a character.
That's a good way to put it in perspective. So, and free-to-play players get a little bit of a boost too. I mean, 10 million, a little bit over 10 million gold for the free-to-play players don't have to buy anything. So yeah, that's nice. I like this response.
But yeah, I agree. This was this stopped what was starting to look real bad, and some of this too was motivated by, and I thought this was funny. People did the right thing, which is if you want FoxNext attention, you have to hit them in one of two places. You have to hit them in their reviews, or you have to hit them in the amount of money they're bringing in.
Yeah.
And people have a hard time going on spending boycotts, because if you go on a spending boycott and it works, but during that time Colossus was for sale, even if they then are all right, we're gonna reverse what we're doing with Phoenix or whatever it is, then okay, yay, now I get Phoenix, but I stopped spending, so I don't have Colossus, so now I'm screwed. Or whatever it is, or in the meantime, other alliances don't stop spending, so their alliance starts kicking your ass in Alliance War, you start slipping in raid season, whatever it is. So it's really hard to organize a spending strike in this game, but it's not hard to organize a review bombing. Not that I'm advocating for one of those.
I think they did that to themselves. Did you get that notice in game to leave a review?
wait, that was to counteract the review bombing that was happening. People on Reddit were review bombing them.
Was that a counter? Because I was they want people that are upset to leave reviews. So
the thing is, here's the thing. People who read Reddit, generally speaking, tend to be butthurt for one reason or another. Not that they don't have good reasons some of the time, but they hunt for got something to be mad about. Let's go fire up the rage engines. And a lot of the players are just kind of casual players who they don't even go on Reddit, they don't even go on YouTube. They just open up their phone and go, oh, cool, Wolverine. Just play the game. They don't really care. Yeah. And so they sent out those emails seeing if they could get some of those people to leave reviews, because it buried the flood of negative reviews that were happening. With all the people who are just yeah, fun game, been playing it for about 3 weeks, really enjoying Wolverine.
I kind of forget. I'm so engaged in this community. I think that's the whole thing. But there's another wide player base that doesn't go to Reddit, doesn't watch any of these videos, doesn't do any content. They just log in and play. And I guess that makes sense, right?
The large majority. People often, I hear this all the time. People will be like, dude, everyone is furious. I'm like, no, they're not. Go on Reddit. Every single thread is about this. Everyone's mad. Okay, but I'm also in the Facebook groups and the line chats and stuff, and so many people have no idea. Half the things that people who are paying attention are mad about, 2/3 of the player base doesn't even know it happened. The casual players have no idea the gold offer went out. They didn't see it, and then that's it. No one was talking about it. They don't, when they're online browsing, they're looking at the recent basketball game scores. They're not looking at what happened in MSF today. So yeah, don't think Reddit represents everyone. It doesn't.
So if you know somebody like that, make sure you share this video and share this stuff, because you will get caught up every week on everything that happened in the game.
Fair enough.
Login character. We have a new month. We have a new login character, and what's going on with Kingpin? We got these Kingpin orbs. We got a bunch of other Kingpin stuff. What do you suspect anything's going on with Kingpin and all this pushing of Kingpin? Because he's not the best character in the game. It's just weird that they went pushing him. Seems random. Do you have any insight on that?
I'm not really sure. There's usually a reason. Like a lot of times for the month, there's a reason. They'll do like a green character for the month of St. Patrick's Day
or some TV
like
tie-in or movie tie-in or
yeah. So
something.
I'd have to look at like what holidays are this month and see if like Kingpin ties into one. But I'm not entirely. Some of the months I have no idea where they choose the character. But I'll say this: like Kingpin is, although he's not the best character and he is just painfully slow, he is still, in my opinion, one of the better characters in this game. Like
he's
I
scary.
really like Kingpin.
Yeah.
His problem is he has one good ability and then everything else is mediocre at best. But that one good ability is really, really good.
Yeah.
And especially as a newer player still doing the villain campaign, like it's awesome to get some early Kingpin shards. Like now is the time to be a new player going through the villain campaign and getting the Kingpin hookup. It's really awesome. Kingpin will do wonders for a villain team. So
yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad character, but just his value is totally based on his kit, not based on his power levels, not based on his stars. It's all on his kit. As long as he doesn't die and gets that move off,
yeah, and
he's set your team up. Yeah.
He's beefy.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know why they're pushing so much Kingpin. Maybe Kingpin is staging a protest because he never got his Spider-Verse tag. I don't know.
Ooh.
For the record, I agree. I think he should get it.
I agree.
But I will go ahead and mention this. I promised I wouldn't do any fresh leaking, but because this is a statement, I don't mind repeating this because I'd already made this statement prior to this.
Okay.
I think I said it here on this very news show.
Okay.
But the only leak that I'd already released pertaining to this was that after the X-Men, we are expecting some Spider-Verse villains.
Ooh. I think a lot of people suspect that. It's just which ones. Mysterio.
I don't know.
Mysterio is the main bad guy or main other character in the movie. The trailer's not letting it on as a bad guy, so guess we'll have to see.
I think it's a reasonable prediction. We'll see. But obviously, Spider-Man is already in the game, so there aren't too many main characters in the movie that we've seen to pull from. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, Nick Fury's in the game too, so yeah, I know.
Maybe we'll get Ned.
Ned? Oh, isn't he Hobgoblin in the comics?
Is he?
I don't know. I think there's. I don't know. We got a dev blog and nothing huge here, but a lot of little things in this. And first thing was Alliance War updates. This devlog. So 100k gold for victory, 2k war credits, 500 elite war credits. That's all the same. But also in there is 15 advanced basic catalysts when you win. And then we got a few more defeat rewards as well. So 50k gold, 1k war credit, 100 elite war credits, which is new, and then those advanced basic catalysts.
And they doubled the gold too. It went from 25 to 50. But yeah, and you get 10 ABCs for a loss.
Yes. So
nice. On this, yeah, I got mixed feelings on this because so many people are like, oh man, like the rewards still suck. They could have been so much better. Like, could they have been better? Yeah, they could have given us 500k gold for every win and 50 ABCs even for a loss. Like, they could have, but that would have been extreme. Like, one thing people forget is that this happens every other day, pretty much. So they can't be given crazy rewards or you get too much stuff too fast. You never need to buy any offers for starters, which obviously would bother them. But like they have the game built around us progressing at a certain rate. And if they give us a crazy amount of stuff every couple of days, it throws that rate off like crazy. And if you're like, well, yeah, but I could definitely be progressing faster than I am. Like, they want you to feel that way. They want you to want to progress faster. That's why you buy their offers.
Yes.
So just the fact that they upped it at all, I'm happy with. Could it have been better? Definitely. But like now I get free ABCs, so I'm happy with that. I also hear people going like, oh, it's not even worth it for the effort. Like, you don't have to try an alliance war.
You get the same. You get the same losing rewards if you lose by 1 point, if you score 0 points. So
and then they go, well, I'll get kicked from my alliance. Like, well, then sounds like
if the whole
that's
alliance
why.
is doing that.
Right. Well, so that's my next point. Is like there are casual alliances. If you just want to be in an alliance, that's fine. Not trying in war. Join an alliance that doesn't care about war. And people are like, well, but what's the point then if there's no difference? You get the same rewards. Like, no. There's war season rewards. You get better war season rewards. That's your payoff. When people are like, the rewards are barely different. Why would I try any harder? Like, because you win more, and then you get more orange mats. Do you want more orange ability mats? I do. That's why I try hard in war, not for the little win bonus I get at the end of every war, because at the end of every war season, I make bank.
I want to win for those elite war credits. But yeah, I mean,
I like those too.
The times invested in war and what you get still doesn't equate, but I'm not that bothered about it right now. So
neither am I. Like, part of it is war's fun. I enjoy war, so I don't mind putting some time into it. And then people are always like, "Oh, the war store is such a bad value," and those people are crazy.
Not
if you
for
buy gear
things.
for shards, they can be a little slow, but they have mostly, not all, but they have mostly good characters in the war store. So it's fine if you progress a little slowly for characters like Carnage, who are awesome.
Pyro.
And then the gear, right? Pyro's the best blaster in the game besides Ultron. Mm-hmm. So maybe you progress on him a little slowly because he's super mega awesome. And then the gear is a terrific value, like 700 war credits, which you're guaranteed even if you do like one attack and lose a war, and you get like a 10 stack of a purple item of your choice. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
So,
or that orange stuff, because that shows up very rarely. And
the orange uniques, it's another source.
The uniques, but the normal oranges as well. Those are a really good value in the war store as well. And yeah, I was a little disappointed when I was just farming shards for characters, but yeah, it comes in really handy for the orange uniques when you're trying to get Ultron.
Ultimately, my stance on that is the same as always. Like, could they have been more generous? Absolutely. Do we have to fight them on every single thing to be more generous? I don't think so. Like, we're always gonna want more, but I got better things to do than like always feel like, oh, they're skimping us. They could be giving us more. They could be giving us more. Like, well, some things just pay a certain amount. Like, it's,
Yeah, I agree. It's gotta look at the time. I'm gonna fight on the big things, but little things like this, not fighting as hard.
And this
it bothers me, but I'm not fighting for it because it's whatever.
And we just got a free 30 to 45 extra ABCs a week. Like, that's great. That's an extra big item a week. Now, I will say, this is a tiny thing someone pointed out. I can confirm for you that they are already aware. Firstly, because I told them myself. Mm-hmm. But so when I say ABCs, everyone immediately thinks of the same thing. The advanced basic catalyst parts. The same thing you get in the supply shop, the same thing you get in your raid store, the same thing you get from the nodes, but technically those are advanced basic catalyst parts. And when you combine 4 of those, it makes an advanced basic catalyst. So when they said, here are the new rewards, they wrote advanced basic catalyst. Now, because nothing actually drops an advanced basic catalyst, we all just assumed it would be the parts, which it is, but technically there is an item called an advanced basic catalyst, and it's worth 4 advanced basic catalyst parts. And the actual reward that you do get is the advanced basic catalyst parts. So technically they stated that we would be getting 4 times the amount of ABCs,
I assumed it was a part. I didn't know there was a part and a normal advanced basic catalyst. Should have paid attention to that. But yeah, I was expecting the parts. I wasn't expecting
same.
Stuff,
So I got what I was expecting. But if they like saying like, hey, you got to hold us to what we said. Like, all right, well, in this instance, that's what you said. So
yeah, I'm with you. I got what I expected, even though it's not what they said. So I'm not.
I'd feel like inciting the riot over this one, but technically false advertisement. Just saying.
Yeah, I chalk it up to a typo because I got what I was expecting. So.
Right? Yeah, same. I chalk it up to a typo.
All right, I know you got all your Kree minions and you got a 7-star Fury, but Kree Minion Blitz community poll is up. Just want to make people aware. So vote for your Kree minions. Mantis, Blitz store now.
I love and I hate that. I mean, ultimately, it's a good thing. I love that I can farm Mantis. I really like Mantis as a character. Mantis and Hulk make an amazing power couple. And Mantis does a ton of work. For those of you that don't know, if you have a Guardians of the Galaxy team and you put Mantis in for Gamora, it immediately makes the Guardians able to beat the Defenders and Blitz, which is super nice. It gives you a lot more options in terms of like Alliance War. So Mantis is good. I'm glad she's in the store. I have been farming her. Can't wait to get her.
I can't wait. What is the negative for this?
Now I can't afford the amount of war energy and war boosts that I need because I'm spending a bunch of my credits on Mantis every time I can. It's 500 a pop.
Are you doing it more than once a day?
Her? Yeah, every time this shop refreshes.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Hey, I'm trying to farm Mantis. She's good. People forgot about Mantis because after she was introduced, 4 minutes later, Minerva was introduced and immediately stole all of her thunder. But she's still a pretty good character.
Yeah, Mantis was the ultimate raid healer for
that whole 4 minutes.
Little bit, yeah.
No, but she's. I honestly, I just used her in beta raid, and it worked incredibly well, man. Like she heals a lot.
Yeah, I'm having to use her in beta raids, so I like her as a character. All right, let's talk about craziness here. Colossus Blitz is the first big character release on a Monday, as far back as I can remember. What is this the first one? Because there might have been one earlier.
I don't remember. I feel like way back there were new character blitzes on Monday. I'm pretty sure.
But it has been months, even if that is the case, right? I can't even remember. If
it's definitely been a very long time, like many months. But I'll say this, and this is when I say words to live by. I cannot be more serious about this. This is I'm not the author of this quote. I forget who it was, but shout out to whoever it was in my stream chat who said this. When it comes to FoxNext, there's no such thing as precedent. Does not matter how they've done something in the past. That means nothing. Every legendary has been a 5-star unlock. Cool. Next one's a 6-star unlock. We had a legendary event every 2 weeks. Cool. Next one's in a month and a half. They don't give a. So it makes my job and Valley's job horrendous because all we try to do is help people prepare for what's coming up. But the problem is when you prepare for what's coming up, you don't panic farm and buy a bunch of offers last minute because you were preparing the whole time. Yeah. And FoxNext figured out, we gotta stop all this preparing. They need to buy more stuff.
Let's make it random.
Yeah, so now I get asked, like I used to have answers like when people are like, when's this legendary event? I'd be like, well, we don't know for sure. It hasn't been officially announced, but based on the cycle, should be in 4 weeks, roughly speaking. And that would usually be pretty close. Nowadays, when's this legendary event? I have no idea. Oh, thought you might know. Yeah, I also thought I might know. I don't. Oh, okay. When's this character coming to Blitz? I have no idea. All right, well, when's this character going to be farmable? I have no idea. I just never know when anything's coming anymore, so.
Yeah, I don't know when any of these things are coming either. I mean, just is there even a cycle for these legendary events anymore? I know there was at one point, but.
No, there's definitely not.
Interesting.
The good news is it looks like, based on which we're going to talk about here in just a bit, it looks like they're still being mindful of like which one it's been the longest since we had it. You know, they still haven't done like Magneto and then like a month later Magneto again. So at least they're being mindful of like bringing back the ones that have been away for the longest. But yeah. Again, they really don't want you to know when it's coming because then you'll farm the right amount. They want you to just be farming as you go, and then when it shows up, you realize, I got a couple weeks, and then they want you to think, well, maybe I can, if I go real hard, maybe I can hit 6-star. So let me really try for these next couple weeks. So yeah, it's pretty random. It's getting much tougher to predict stuff. It's making my life way more difficult, but.
Farm everything, be prepared. I guess that's the way to counteract this, right? And that's what they want also. Mm-hmm. But you mentioned the data mines, and I guess this is the juicy part of the video.
The news.
People say the news, what is coming up. So we got some data mines this week, and it looks like, according to the data mine, War Machine is coming to the Raid store. What are your feelings on this?
Hell yeah.
I'm happy too. Power armor.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm such a big fan of War Machine's kit. I actually already have him 7-star, but I realize that most people don't, and that's a great place to get him. We all get plenty of raid tickets, and he's an absolutely awesome character. I love War Machine, so yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad he's gonna be available for people.
Me too. I just got my Sabertooth to 7 stars from a bunch of premium orbs, so yeah, I got a surplus of raid credits. So personally, I'm happy, and for the community and the game as a whole, I'm happy as well. M'Baku coming to the orbs after this orb milestone opening event. Thoughts on M'Baku? Real quick. Okay, next. Just talked about the events coming back.
All right, so we've already said this before. I don't want to harp on this too long, but anytime I say anything about the Wakandans, I always get the exact same question. So just in case there are people listening who didn't hear one of the previous episodes where I talked about this, people always go, "Hey, so what about the Wakandans? They said they were going to be the best raid team, and then we haven't heard anything about them. Do you think they're worth the hype? Do you think they're that big a deal? Blah blah blah." Now I will say, like, on the Wakandan team, M'Baku is the most replaceable person. You can replace him with like Captain America or Miss Marvel, and the team still does really, really, really well. But I do genuinely believe that the Wakandans are the best raid team. And as I'm saying that, there's people like, really? Because I don't see you making videos of the Wakandan team in raid, and I haven't heard of anyone talking about how awesome their Wakandan team is doing in raid. And this is true. The short version is, right now, this minute, the Wakandans are not the best team in raid. And if you're wondering, like, well, why are they not now? But they will be. And it's because the Wakandans were designed and balanced around Ultimus 7. And Ultimus 7 is, of course, not here yet. But from everything we've seen and seen hinted at about Ultimus 7, it looks like it's going to give orange ability mats daily. We don't know how many, but a much more regular influx of orange ability mats. And the reason this is important is the Wakandan team, unlike a lot of other teams, the Wakandans get way better with T4 abilities. Like, way, way better. To the point where they all need at least 2 of their abilities orange matted.
Yeah.
And like half of them need at least 3. So the reason that I'm not making videos with my super badass Wakandan team and you're not seeing people talk about how awesome their Wakandan team is no one has enough orange mats to give them all the orange abilities. But based on what their kits look like, I do truly believe that they are the top raid team once you have them all at 7775, which is of course not feasible today, but hopefully it will be in the future. And I double checked on this both with official and unofficial sources, and I was told that they've run all the top teams in Ultimus 7, and the Wakandans did the best, and they made sure of that. So, and it makes sense.
They sound fun. They just aren't giving you that bang for your buck like a Shield or Defenders will give, because it requires less of an investment, it seems like. So
right, you need so many T4s.
Yeah, so heavy investment, heavy rewards for Wakandans, at least on paper right now.
Yeah, but weird to introduce them as the best raid team and then have them be like the best raid team in waiting for like several patches.
Yeah,
kind of odd, but all right.
It is. A couple more data mines. Mentioned some legendary events coming back.
We got dates. Now, you want to do the disclaimer? I'll let you handle this.
Sometimes the dates end up wrong, but sometimes they end up right. I think more often than not they end up right. So, but yeah, there have been times that they've got shifted. But we do have dates for these legendary events. Not
officially confirmed, but here's what we're working with.
All right, Iron Man. June 12th is the date in the data mine. And Nick Fury, I know a lot of you guys want Nick Fury. July 21st, so a while away for Nick Fury if you don't have him or you're trying to get him to the next star.
Yep, and in between those two, it looks like we're getting Phoenix on the 27th of June. So we got Iron Man on June 12th, which is not too far away. Then a couple weeks after that, we got Phoenix, and then about 3 weeks after that. About 3 weeks after that. By the time it ends and everything, like 3 weeks.
True. By the end of it.
But about 3 weeks until we got the Fury event. And so, those dates are subject to change, but it's good to know, roughly speaking, yeah, you guys can start preparing. And then also we have a little bit of an idea what some of the upcoming blitzes are. After this current Colossus Blitz, do want to throw out the Thursday Blitz is going to be Storm. So if you still need Storm, go for her. She's absolutely amazing in Raid. She can be used if you're just kind of getting into Ultimus 6, if you're at about that level. A Storm, and she doesn't even have to be that strong, but if you can make a team to charge Storm up, you can take down some really, really tough nodes just by charging up Storm in one of the earlier nodes and then just nuking it down. Yeah. And then also, if you're working on the X-Men team, she is phenomenal on the X-Men team because of her passive. And then after Storm's Blitz, the following Monday Blitz, we got another Colossus Blitz. Colossus round 2. I'm sure most of you know this, but just because I see these comments every single time, when there's a Blitz the second time, there's always at least a few people like, oh, great, FoxNext really screwing us on this one. Only the top 1,500 get shards. Typical. And it's like, the second Blitz of a new character has always been that.
Yeah.
For like the last 6 months. Now, as we previously established, there's no such thing as precedent when it comes to FoxNext, but that is what you should expect until you see otherwise. The second Blitz of a new character is almost always top 1,500 only. So we'll see if it's different, but I wouldn't expect it to be. And then also there were some data mines about America Chavez. I wanted to clear this up.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one, and it violates all precedent that we've had before. So
it kind of does and it kind of doesn't. So there is an America Chavez Blitz. Mm-hmm. I think it got moved to what, like the 13th or the 18th?
I said the 18th and the 25th, which are Tuesdays.
So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, a Tuesday Blitz seems really weird, and it's possible they're just changing it up, but that is not going to be the first opportunity to get America Chavez. There's another way that's coming sooner, and this is the data mine that I'm worrying more about. That Tuesday Blitz, we'll see what's up with that. I don't know. I'll worry about that when it gets here. That could be a typo or something. But the more important one is there's going to be new milestones, not like the Captain Marvel milestones, but milestones for blitzing. Yes. And it doesn't matter whose blitz is going on during these milestones, but there's a list of like 6 or 7 named characters that are in this Unity Orb. Yes. And you're going to get points for doing the blitz with these named characters. You'll get extra points. And your rewards will be, it looks like a bunch of good stuff. They listed a few rewards, but one of the things that you get is Unity Orbs. And these Unity Orbs will have a chance to drop any of those named characters with an increased chance to drop America Chavez. So it looks like a kind of new release method that we haven't quite seen before, which is you'll be blitzing for other characters, but while you're blitzing, you'll be completing this milestone. So that way, even if it's a blitz character you don't care about, you'll be able to get America Chavez by doing the blitz. And then you'll get these Unity Orbs, which have an increased chance of dropping America Chavez shards. So obviously we'll need to see the numbers on the orb and see how hard or easy it is to hit these milestones, but I kind of like with Colossus Blitz, there've been like, from top 10% to top 1,500, you go from like 1.5 mil to like 7.5 mil. Yeah. So all the players that can score more than 1.5 mil but not 7.5 mil have just been kind of doing nothing. Like, well, I guess I'm done. So I like that there'll be milestones that'll actually give you stuff so that even if you're not going to hit like 7.5, if you can hit 4.5, you can still do pretty well in the milestones, get some stuff. Yeah. So I know some people are going to hear this and be like, oh, just what I wanted, more blitzing. But like, if you hate playing the game, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I kind of like Blitz.
Yeah, it's fun for me, and especially if they're going to give me more rewards for doing it, especially if they're going to give me a new character. So
yeah. Plus, the data mine shows Captain Marvel is in that orb. So
yeah.
That's hopefully, cross my fingers that
that's
gets
the other thing. Yeah. That's the other thing why I'm not as worried about what we mentioned earlier about people having the ability to spend the 85 people having the ability to spend their gold for Captain Marvel shards. Like, might be able to just get some Captain Marvel drops from the Unity orb. So
cross my fingers, hope it gets some good drops there. All America Chavez or Captain Marvel.
And Captain Marvel, dude, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's all I have on the notes. You got anything else that want to discuss?
No, I think we started this one off saying like, all right, well, we both got a lot of blitzing to do. Let's make this a quick one, and then I think we did our usual like 40+ minutes.
I'm showing 50 right now, and hopefully it'll be cut down by the time you guys watch this at home.
Yeah, I think we've touched on enough for this week. It's crazy that we have this much news every week. You gotta give them credit where credit's due. They give us something worth talking about every single week. So.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this game, good or bad. There's always something to talk about, right? Khasino, tell them where they can find you.
I stream Marvel Strike Force every single day on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Khasino. It's every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And then I have a Discord server everyone should join. It's discord.gg/Khasino. We have infographics, we got blitz predictions, we got videos. There's tons of people hanging out answering questions, including myself. ValleyFlyin you can find hanging out on the Discord answering people's questions. So yeah, everyone should join and catch me there.
Nice. And your YouTube channel, and the links for all that will be in the description, so you guys can check it out.
I do that YouTube thing sometimes.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you for sticking around to the end, and I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. Join the notification squad. Share this with your friends. Leave a comment. Make sure you check out the Valley merch in the description and some other ways to support the channel, BlueStacks, and I will see you next time. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out!